Hey guys, Maine here. We're back from the honeymoon. Had a fantastic time in Italy. Smoked a lot of darts, drank a lot of red wine, ate copious amounts of cured meat, and sold my company to Kraken. With that being said, let's get into the video. Now, I know many of you are saying, Maine, why would you still be doing these videos? If you sold your company to Kraken, you must be so rich now and you made it. Well, here's the thing, guys. First of all, I was rich before Kraken. Okay, so let's just get that straight. Second of all, I told you guys when we were way down here, I lost a bunch of money to FTX. I was down bad that I was going to stick it out with you guys for this bull run, and that hasn't changed. And that's exactly what we've done. We bought basically every single major low of the bull run so far. We've absolutely cooked. We've absolutely crushed it. And I told you I'm not leaving yet, so I'm not leaving yet. I love the game, and until that changes, you guys are stuck with me. So enjoy it while you can. That being said, let's get into the charts here. I apologize in advance. Something's going on with my scroll wheel, and it's pissing me off, but I can't figure it out. So typical to CT fashion, right? We have a bit of a pullback after making a fresh all-time high, and people are calling for the end of the bull run. Most notably, Ansem's calling for the end of the bull run. He has some points in his favor, and his chart is actually, that he shared today, very similar to a chart that I shared with you guys 2 weeks ago, more than 2 weeks ago when we made this SFP. But I'm going to talk about, first of all, the short-term price action, and then we'll talk about kind of the higher time frame. And then I actually want to give you guys some thoughts on Pump.fun, and then we'll probably end that video there because I'm still super jet-lagged. So typical fashion, right? Everyone's super bearish into the low here. I made it very clear before I even left, right? I wasn't even out of town yet. This entire pullback, I said, this is all weekly support. This is a weekly bullish order block here. This created the new all-time high. We had this liquidity level marked out here, right? Which got taken, and we had the prior all-time high. And all that happened here with Twitter shitting their fucking pants was we retested this weekly order block. We had a liquidity sweep. We had a sweep there. You had a nice retest of this 2024 all-time high level. I posted. I said, this just looks like an over-under. So even while I was away, I basically spoon-fed you guys the long down here. And I said, if we get back above 112, I think we go to 117. And we came like to, 116. What is it? 116, 600. Pretty damn close. So again, typical crypto Twitter, super bearish into the lows, people over exaggerating, calling for the end of the cycle, and then we bounce. ETH pumps a little, Sol pumps a little. All of a sudden, a week goes by, couple green candles, people are saying it's alt season, it's time to rotate. How many people who are fucking like been so wrong all cycle start talking about Solana here? Sol's back at 250. I still think Sol goes higher, but like, it's comical how bad these guys are, right? Like, no one was talking about being bullish on Bitcoin here. No one was talking about being bullish on Sol here. When I told you guys, hey, above 190, this goes at least to 220 and then maybe to 260. Where were all those people then? Of course, Sol goes up. Everyone starts blowing up how it's back, the trenches are hot, blah, blah, blah. And, 2 days later, we're down 5-10% across the board on a bunch of altcoins. And it's like insane. It's comical how wrong, like perfectly wrong, the vast majority of people are on crypto Twitter, many of whom have a massive, massive following. All that matters, though, is that we're making money. We've been dialing it in. We were bullish on Sol very early. We were bullish on Bitcoin down here, and I actually longed Pump, which ended up being the highest performer here. And then I closed because basically Pump.fun has like max peak market share right now. I'm going to get into it later in the video, but funding was getting crazy. Do I think it can go higher? Yes, but I longed it at like 0.003 or whatever the decimal situation would be, and almost hit a triple, a 3x on it. So anyways, Bitcoin short term, we got the bounce that we were expecting, and now we have now we have a little bit of a sweep here, and it's like, okay, is this going to pull back? We have a very big week this week with FOMC, right? FOMC, everyone is expecting a 25 basis point rate cut. So it's like, is this already priced in? We're already expecting it? Or is the fact that we have not had a rate cut mean that this is going to be bullish, right? So I don't buy this sweep yet. Like, yeah, this could pull back from here, down to maybe 112, down into this, right? But I personally think that Bitcoin has at least one more push up into these highs. Like, so even if we come down, I think we go up here, or maybe we just chop here and then we go up here. And then if we're going to reject, I think it happens in the premium of this range. I don't think we get the rejection in the lower part. So if we are indeed topping, because this is a weekly SFP, we have this H12 and the daily breaker here. We have the market structure break. We have a weekly H12 short ready to go. Like, this is printed. I talked about this when this SFP went in, okay? When this SFP went in, we got the market structure break there too. And I talked about, hey, this is a weekly SFP. That's a weekly structure break. This is actually a massive weekly breaker, right? This whole zone is a weekly breaker. But within that weekly breaker, we have our daily and H12. As you guys know, I like the H12. We have this daily breaker here, right? The up, down candle for the up move that took the liquidity. So in theory, if we come up here and test this, it's probably a short, to be honest with you. It is. And that's what Ansem posted today. I showed you guys this chart that he posted today. I showed you guys this chart back in August when we made this SFP and then broke down. I said, hey, this is a breaker. And at the very least, I thought maybe we'll come and take this liquidity. So if we get a push up with FOMC this week, because the rate cut comes in, even though everyone's already expecting it, but the rate cut actually happens and the market's like, oh, yay, rate cuts, and we push up to here, I probably think it's worth taking a short with your stop at the high, at the very least as a hedge, because I still own spot and I still have some altcoin spot. I'm not really in any perp trades at this point. I've trimmed almost everything. So I have spot still, even though I've taken some spots profits this cycle, I still have substantial Bitcoin spot, ETH spot, Sol spot. And as purely a hedge and as because it's a legit and logical trade, I do think it's worth shorting this retest because a weekly H12 short, like you got to take it. It's a high time frame short. It's got all the confluence in the world. And on top of that, even though it's not a super actionable signal, the rate cuts happening and all of CT getting super, super bullish after the move is already commenced and right into resistance, it makes it a short I cannot fade. Now, do I think that the top is in? This is Ansem's theory, is that he thinks this is going to happen. I'm calling it Ansem theory, even though it's not, because I post it first. I'm just kidding, but it is. That's the setup he's looking at. He's looking at this as a daily breaker. There's your weekly sweep, and this is it, right? This is the top. And I mean, there's precedence for this being a topping pattern for Bitcoin. If you go back here, this is exactly the same setup. This is the exact same setup here. There's your sweep on the weekly. There's your structure break. And this is your daily breaker. It's the exact same setup that topped Bitcoin last time. And I believe this is the same too. This is a weekly sweep. This is your daily breaker. It's the same setup. So there's good reason to be like, maybe this is the top. I just don't quite believe it yet. And maybe I'm being naive, but I'm going to take the short because I think it's a good trade and the risk reward is good. But I'm kind of the mindset that even if we do reject here, that we could still form another low here, right? And this is just like a big range, and then we get one more leg up. I just don't quite think it's over yet. I think that the rate cuts, because there could be more than one this year, will be the juice that we need for one more leg. But that being said, if we get a pump up here due to FOMC, or we just drift up here and everyone's screaming for new all-time highs, I think just systematically, it's a mechanical short, and I would take it, okay? So that's kind of my thoughts on Bitcoin, right? Is I don't think it's over. I do think you've got to take that short if it comes. I'm going to, but personally, I'm still not fully convinced that it's over. I do think that this could just end up being a big range, and then we eventually trade higher going into Q4. And if we do get some sort of rejection here and we wipe out to here or even lower, I would still be interested in trying to buy the dip, because I do think that any sort of rejection here might be one more dip, and that's the final dip you get before the last blow off the top leg. So something like this. I'll draw a few scenarios here, even though I you guys know I don't love drawing multiple scenarios, but like if we get a pullback here into 112, I think you could probably long it up into here. And then I think this is a mechanical short you have to take. And if it does pull back here, I'm looking for reasons to long for one more pump going into Q4. Okay? If we just come up here and we just break higher, then guess what? I'm looking for breakout longs on a hold above above the old all-time high. What does that trade look like? It looks like this. Right? It looks like what we're trying to do now here. We break out above all-time high. You long the retest. We trade back below, get back above, hope it goes up more. The way that we're going to know if the top is in my opinion, is it's already going to be in. Like the market's going to move down a lot. And then you're going to be like, okay, the weekly structure's broken. Now the chart's fucked, right? Like what Ansem's doing is trying to predict it. And I think that the short here is justifiable and it makes a lot of sense, right? And it has a clear invalidation. So if the market grinds higher and makes a new all-time high, that idea is wrong. Well, conversely, right, if you're trying to long and you're like, I don't think the top is in, well, where's that invalidation, right? Like, am I going to long? If we run below here and I long, okay, awesome, I was right. But what if we go below here and then we keep going down? Then what? Like, at what point do you cut the long? And so right now, the short side has an easier invalidation and it's simply all-time high. Whereas the long side, I think, is a bit trickier. Because as much as this is weekly demand, in theory, we could come lower. Like this would eliminate, I think, your short-term long bias is getting back. Getting back below here, I think, would eliminate any short-term long bias. And then I think we could go down here. And realistically, I think a pullback within this price leg still could be viewed as high time frame bullish. And I know that seems nuts, but I don't know. I'm not convinced it's over yet. So I do think that this is a very big week, and I think you're going to want to watch FOMC, see how the market digests the rate cuts, and then go from there. I mean, the S&P is pushing to new all-time highs. Gold is pushing to new all-time highs. And what we can hope is that Bitcoin is just lagging and it's going to catch up, and we're just getting a little bit more chop here, maybe one more pullback, and then, it really fucking goes. So that's my kind of analysis and my plan for now. I will update you guys on Wednesday once we actually see the FOMC meeting go down. We see how the market digests it. But for now, we're within this range. And the level that you want to watch here, in my opinion, is this daily breaker here. And if we come up here, I do think that the short is you kind of have to take it, according to my system at least. So I will. All right. I'm not going to go over ETH and SOL because I'm jet lagged as shit. I will talk about Pump really quick. So I longed Pump before everyone else got bullish because I'm super smart and they're all dumb. But I also TP'd before this last huge leg. I left a moon bag on, but I did not ride this thing all the way up to here. I fully closed the position yesterday, I think, because I think it's kind of reached peak mind share. I mean, it went from the reason I longed this is we just had this bottoming range and we reclaimed the mid range. And so I just aped into a long. It wasn't like even that good of an entry at the time. The entry kind of looked late because you're like, oh, well, it already broke past the mid range and my stop's really wide. But I look like a genius now because it pumped. But to me, this was just basically a huge higher low, right? I'm like, okay, big higher low here. It's reclaiming the mid-range. If this is going to go up and make a higher high, which it clearly has now, my invalidation is that higher low. So that's why I took the trade. Anyways, I think that this has reached kind of peak mindshare for now. Do I think it can go higher? Yes. I think that this can go to a penny and maybe more, right? And the penny is still, another 20% from here. But we've got, it's not just Gainsey streaming on Pump.fun anymore and Jakey and, and Rasmer and shit. Like, we got fucking Becker on there. He's retarded. We've got fucking porn stars going on there, OnlyFans girls. And to me, Waka Flocka streaming, like Rand Newer streaming. Like, to me, everyone sees Pump.fun paying all this money and they're like, oh, it's just like the celebrity coin meta, friend tech meta. I can go on this website, launch a stream, which is just launching a coin, and get a quick bag. I've thought about doing a Pump.fun stream, not for the money, but because everyone seems to be doing it. Like, I want to be able to participate in the new metas, the fun stuff that people are doing. But the reason I haven't signed up for Time.fun or Pump.fun is because I don't like the idea of having a coin attached to me. Because what happens if I don't want to stream on Pump.fun anymore? Did I rug the token? You know what I mean? Like, what happens if I don't want to do it anymore? And that's the problem. So I'm going to talk to Elon, and maybe there's a solution where I can stream on Pump.fun because people want to watch there and they want to speculate and make money. But I don't necessarily want to have a coin attached to my name. I don't like that idea. But I do think a lot of people are just going over there right now to get a quick bag because it's paying. I think there is a massive dislocation between the actual value these streamers are providing and what they're being paid. I think Elon and the Pump.fun team, smartly so, is doing what Kick did. They're throwing a bunch of money at streamers to try and get them to come to the platform, hoping to land a whale. Kick paid Aiden Ross a bunch of money to get him over from Twitch, right? Tried to get Kai Cenat over. Why do I know so much about this? I don't fucking know. So they're trying to get some big streamer to stream on Pump.fun, saying, oh my God, you're going to make so much money than anywhere else, and we're going to take down Twitch and Kick, etc., and YouTube. I don't know if that's the case, because at the end of the day, Twitch and Kick and these guys are getting thousands, tens of thousands of views live, okay? Hundreds of thousands in some cases. So yeah, they're making money because advertisers want to pay to get placed in a stream where 100,000 people are watching, right? And the argument I see a few people make, which I think is a silly argument, is like, oh, well, you know, they could make way more on Pump.fun, and having 50 viewers on Pump.fun is better than having 5,000 viewers on Twitch. Maybe right now, monetarily, yes. But most of these streams I see on Pump.fun suck. They're not entertaining, and they get no fucking views. Like, no one's watching this shit. It's super fucking niche. Like, it's super niche, and I don't find it that any of the streamers on there really right now have any sort of mass appeal to anyone, and they haven't really proven that they can actually be entertaining and garner a large concurrent viewership. I think what's happening right now is you've got a couple of guys who are streaming there. They're being promoted by Pump.fun, but even they are getting like 200 viewers. When I stream on YouTube, I get like over 1,000, right? And like, I'm streaming fucking the chart of Bitcoin. Some of these guys are just talking at the camera, and I just don't know if it's sustainable. I think Elon's throwing a bunch of money at it with the hopes of drawing someone big over. Maybe that works. But in the meantime, a lot of people are making money just doing shitty streams. And if you're trying to find a way to get a quick buck, turn your camera on and go stream on Pump.fun, bro. Like, you can make fucking, seems like 5 figs doing fuck all. So I do think it's getting a little frothy. The chart's looking a little nuts. Funding got a little nuts. Do I think it can go higher? Yes. I like the Pump.fun team. I think they're smart. They've got a lot of money. I think they're working on some cool stuff. I would love to get involved somehow, but I don't love the idea of having a coin attached to my name. I don't need the money. I just want to be able to say, hey, if you want to watch my stream on Pump.fun, I want my viewers to have that option. And if they want to be able to speculate, sure, but I don't want there to be a situation where it's like, oh, I don't want to stream on Pump.fun anymore. The coin rugs and now it's attached to me. It would make me feel bad. I don't want you guys to lose money. Anyways, that's my rant. Happy to be home. This stream, a little bit fucking wonky because of the jet lag, but Wednesday I think will be a lot better. FOMC, big day. Pay attention. Anyways, I love you. Bye. Mwah.